we've got to have a great week of preparation. All of that is true again this week, and we're looking forward to the challenge that Monday night will present. So I'll take any questions you have.
On film, what have you seen how the defense has improved since they added Jadeveon and kind of helped that defensive line get to the passer?
Yeah, he's a great pass rusher, and in this league, it seems that when you have people who can rush the passer, it makes your defense go, and they've done a great job creating turnovers, and they have really skilled players. When you look at like a Bobby Wagner, a KJ Wright, Michael Kendricks, these are guys I've played against before and just have the utmost respect for. Have always respected their scheme, the way they play, the intensity with which they play. They're smart players. And then their defensive line, although names have changed throughout the years, I feel that the production and their effectiveness has really been consistent year after year. So I have a lot of respect for them and the way they play.
Kirk, you're averaging over 9 yards per pass attempt on the previous play was a run. What is it about Dalvin and this entire run game that allows you to kind of have more of those explosives when the previous play was a rush?
Probably in its simplest form, and it's probably more complex than this, but in the simplest form, if a linebacker has to, his responsibility is to fill a gap in the run game and also has to get underneath a throw in coverage in a certain zone, he has to do both. And it's not physically possible to be in the B gap and 12 yards deep getting underneath a route in your hook drop. And so if you can run the ball enough and effectively enough where they are sprinting up into that B gap, you'd like to think that, off the play action then that zone opens up. I think the same applies to every position. A defensive lineman, if he's more worried about stopping the run, he can't have quite as much get off to affect the quarterback as if he's expecting pass and able to just fire off and then react to run. So I think it all helps, and the opposite is also true. If you can, you're throwing the ball and having effectiveness throwing the ball, sometimes you can set up the run, and they start rushing the passer thinking they can get a sack or affect you, and next thing you know, a draw or a run play can sneak out behind them. So you really have to be able to do both, and I think a lot of our success in the pass game is a result of being able to effectively run the ball.
Did this late bye, was that good for you? Just to get a mental rest, physical rest?
Yeah, I think the bye has always been a positive thing for me, my family, in terms of resting and then being ready to go for whatever the second half of the season looks like. So it came at a fine time, and now we got all the work in front of us.
When you have an extended prep, for an opponent like Seattle, is there anything that you're able to spend more time on in your preparation?
Coach Zimmer emphasized fundamentals, just getting back to things that at times can slip because you're so focused on your opponent week in and week out that you don't have time to go back to the basics like you do in OTAs or even training camp. And so you go back a little bit to fundamentals, and then you also pause and just look back at, okay, what have we done well so far this year? What has enabled us to win football games? And what have we struggled at that has hurt us? And how can we right the ship or fix some of those struggles in the last stretch of the season? So the bye week does give you that time to self-scout, press pause a little bit, and hopefully make any corrections you need to for the stretch run.
Kirk, what do you remember kind of last year, the Seattle game in the